So if you can tell, I kind of took a layer off. I got kind of warm. Um, but we're at the end of 2 weeks of training for dry tooling. This is the second full week that I've done for training, and I've definitely felt like things are starting to change. So I thought this video could be helpful just to kind of go over what I'm seeing and what I'm looking to improve with my training. So that being said, let's just kind of jump right into it. Kind of the first thing that I'll go off saying is that climbing the place has gotten a lot easier. It's just one of those things where I'd like the first time I got back on it, it's like my forearms and my hands were killing me, and I'd climb one lap and then have to pump myself up just to climb another one because my hands were shot. Whereas now it's getting pretty easy to climb. I definitely had to take some rest in my second go around of doing it, but not like extensive rest. I mean, I think when I did the first day, when I did this whole training thing, I think I spent like almost 2 or 3 hours trying to do the workout, and I just got done with it now, and I think it just took me like, I don't know, maybe an hour, maybe less, maybe like 40 minutes to do. So I've cut my time down way farther. Granted, I am doing something slightly different though, but when it comes to actually climbing on the place, that was where a lot of my time was kind of going, because I would seriously just climb one lap and then I have to like go and pace around and just shake out my hands and my arms just because they were hurting. Whereas now I'm getting a little bit more efficient with how I'm climbing. You know, I kind of figured that might be the case. It just takes a little while to get back into that kind of climbing mentality when you're going. Movement-wise, I think when I first started getting back on the place, I was definitely like climbing like the classic X, where it's like right leg, right arm goes up, and then you go left leg and left arm goes up, and it's super inefficient, and coming down was a struggle. Whereas now, when I'm moving with the place, I'm like moving more efficiently. I'm sometimes reaching up higher, but when I'm doing that, like I'm putting my hips in, I'm pivoting more. So I'm getting more comfortable on it and getting my movement back to how I was when I was ice climbing a couple months ago. So that's been super nice, and just because of that, it's really boosted my efficiency when climbing on the place, because now I can like bust away like 5 laps and feel actually pretty good. And like where I'm at right now, doing 10 laps in a workout session, I feel like super fine. I'm not tired at all. Like maybe my hands hurt a little bit. My hands get very like calloused or rip blisters from doing this workout. So I don't know, but overall it's been getting better for it to do, and that's kind of where I'm looking at too. Is for next week, the next week of training, I'm thinking about bumping it up higher. Before I kind of jump into that, I'll just also briefly mention the figure fours and figure nines. Kind of that first, again, the whole story with this whole thing is like that first week was so rough to get back into it, but after like even like the first full week of doing it, I started getting better and more efficient at my figure fours and figure nines, and now I can do 5 figure fours and figure nines on each leg, just crank them out and have no problem. It's not that hard for me to do anymore, and I don't know if that's just due to I've built up like endurance for it, because way back, like maybe not way back, but like 2 years ago, at our gym that we have, they had like gymnast rings, and I would just go there and start doing figure fours and figure nines. Like granted, it's not on tools and you're not wearing gloves, but it's the same motion, and I was doing it. So for like a year I was doing that. So I think I just built up like kind of like muscle memory and endurance for doing it, because it's not that much of a challenge. I probably could step up in doing more of them, and I'll also get into that, because it all kind of comes into this idea for what I'm going to do next week. But the one thing that I did change about this workout was I was running, and that definitely proved to be really good. I mean, that first day that I did it, I just got so spent from running, and I kind of wanted to do this workout as like an endurance buster, and just really like just hone in my endurance for this. And running definitely played a big part in draining my energy, so that was successful. But I kind of switched out from doing running, just because this is actually just because I kind of wanted to do just something different and not get so spent and not have it take so long to do this workout. I wasn't really enjoying that. It was taking like almost 2 hours or 3 hours to do pretty minimum stuff. So I'm glad we're where it's at right now, but where it's at right now is just because I kind of cut out running. I still run, I just don't run during this workout. So I kind of switched that out. And in maybe the clip in the beginning of the video, you might see that I started climbing static line. I'm testing that out and just throwing this in my workout every now and then, just to get more comfortable on static line again and rope. I found that can maybe be helpful. Plus, it's kind of like a weird full body workout when you're climbing rope, because especially the action of like doing the whole thing, you definitely feel it in parts of your body where you're like, oh, that's not getting worked out. So I kind of thought that might be a benefit. Just do a couple laps on the static line, and maybe eventually if I can have a setup do more like we're talking like 100 feet of climbing static line. So maybe if I can get that up, or if I can get going, maybe that will be another part of my workout that might change. But I'm thinking about substituting that more rather than running, just because it's on rope, it's climbing related, it helps me get back into my memory of doing stuff on rope. So I'm kind of doing that. Like I said, you might have seen a clip on that, so that might come, and I might mix that into my workout more. But where am I going to take this workout? So I think for next week and for the foreseeable future, I'm going to step it up, do another set. So right now I'm ending with doing 10 laps on the place total, and then I think I'm doing 10 figure fours on each leg and 10 figure nines on each leg as well. Then I think I'm just going to step it up. At first, I'm going to step it up to 5 because I want to ease my way into it. I mean, I could obviously jump up to doing like 10 more, 20 more, and probably feel fine, but I kind of want to ease my way into it. I'm just using this month of May when I'm recording this and doing this, just using that as a progression month so I can start going in the summer and be in good shape for dry tooling. So rather than doing anything crazy, I'm just going to gradually bump it up. But I might, if I find that bumping up by 5 is still pretty easy, I'll bump it up another 5. So I'll be doing a total 10 more maybe the next day. So kind of keep updated for that. I'll throw that, whether it be a short or whatever, I'll kind of put the totals at the end of the day, see what I did. I think that's the plan for going forward. I think that's probably the smart plan too, just to kind of gradually bump it up. Not do anything too crazy, but yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised of how fast I've been able to get back on the metaphorical horse. Like, I wasn't expecting to get back into good climbing shape and get in my movement, which is good because, you know, sometimes you get like really stiff and rigid and sometimes it's hard to break out of that. But right now I'm doing pretty good. I feel great. Maybe next week might be another story if I add 5 more, and I might just be super tired from that, but that's my gauge for right now. I'm not tired, so bump it up next week. So yeah, that kind of does it for this update for my training. Thank you guys for watching if you are following along with the series, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.